Hi everyone, this is Mrs. V. Chen. Welcome to my Form 4 Foundational Accounting, lesson number 3. Today is 13th September 2020. Okay, so today's lesson is about accounting cycle. Now, before we look at accounting cycle, let's do some revision one more time. Okay, so do you still remember what is the meaning of double entry bookkeeping? So we always entered transaction 2 times, so here twice. All right, so why we enter 2 times? Because once on the debit side and then once on the credit side. And also something very important, all right, about which item is positive on debit side and which item is positive on credit side. Now here we have assets. It's a debit item because it is positive on the debit side, and debit side means the left hand side of the equation. And capital is credit, right? Liability is also credit. And here we have revenue. Remember, revenue increase capital, which is a good thing to the owner. So revenue is also a credit item. Okay, and what about expenses? Expenses decrease capital, which is not a good thing to the owner. So expenses will be debit. All right, so next we come to goods or inventory. So we never use goods account or inventory account. However, we have these 4 accounts representing goods. So what is the meaning of sales? Sales means selling goods to the customer. So sales will increase capital, so that sales is always a credit item. Remember that. And then purchases is the opposite, which will decrease capital, so which is a debit item. All right, and then return invoice is opposite to sales. After selling goods to the customers that they are not satisfied about the goods purchased from our business, so that this is debit, which is opposite to sales. And then return outwards is opposite to purchases, so therefore we have return outwards on the credit side. Okay, so after revision, I'm going to show you accounting cycle for the first 3 steps. So the first step is to prepare journal entries, and after that we do posting, and then we have trial balance. So I'm going to change this question. So write up accounts in the ledgers of K. Chen. So K. Chen is the owner of the business, but anyway, we will follow these transactions happened, and then we prepare journal entries in step number 1. Okay, so here I have step number 1 of the accounting cycle, which is to draw up or to prepare journal entries. Okay, and this is the format of the journal. Here we have a small column on the left hand side for dates, and then we have a big one for recording details. And then now we come to 2 smaller columns on the right hand side. One is the debit column, one is the credit column, and then don't skip this $sign and $sign, otherwise marks will be deducted in the examination. Okay, now let's take a look about the transaction. All right, this is in 2013 and March 1st. Started business with 10,000 cash. The point is, who started the business? Of course, it must be the owner. Okay, so the owner to start the business, that means the owner puts 10,000 cash into the business. So therefore, the business has more cash, and cash is assets. Assets is positive on the debit side. So that's the answer here to step number 1. I have the dates, which is 2013, right? And now this is March, and then 1st of March. So debit cash means the business has more cash, which is 10,000. So I debit cash 10,000. Okay, who puts cash into the business? The owner. Okay, we always use this capital. All right, means the resources contributed by the owner. Okay, so this is how we do the first double entry. Step number 1. Journals in this format. Okay, next I come to 3rd of March. Now here we have bought a lorry for 6,980 on credit. Do you still remember what is meaning on credit? If we buy things, we must pay money. What is mean on credit means not yet pay. but we're going to pay later. And who is this supply cars? Which is the supplier. Okay, so that bought lorry and the date is on 3rd, therefore we have more lorry in the business. Okay, lorry is a kind of assets to the business, so that I debit lorry 6,980. And then since we have to pay, but on credit means not yet paid, we owe money to Supercars. So I put this 6,980. Okay, so this is step number 1 about recording transactions by using journal entries. And what is Supercar? Supercar is the supplier, right? Supercar is same as the creditor, right? And which is liability, means liability going up in that way. Okay, now we have 14th March, bought goods. Remember, whenever we have goods, we never use goods account. However, we have this either 4 things representing goods, either sales, purchases, return invoice, and return hours. Okay, so which one we use here? Bought goods means purchases. Okay, so and then if we buy goods, we have to pay, and then we pay in cash. So this is simply means a kind of cash purchases. Remember that means after buying goods, we have money paid. So therefore, we debit purchases 6,000, and then since we pay cash, so that we have less cash, so that therefore we credit cash. Okay, so this is transaction recorded for 14th of March, and then next 20th. So goods in cash. Okay, again, so goods means we have sales, right? So sales is here, sales goods here. So sales means selling goods to the customer, which is a credit item. So in cash, that means we already have cash received it, so more cash. So therefore, debit cash, and then which is, how much is it? It is 9,000, and then with money received because of sales, so we credit sales also 9,000, and the dates is on 20th of March. Okay, finally we come to 31st of March. We pay Supercars the total amount owed in cash. So why we need to pay to Supercars? Because we need to go back to the related transactions happened, which is on 3rd of March. So we bought lorry, however, we haven't paid money to Supercars yet. Now we pay on 31st. So if we pay to Supercar, so we owe less money to Supercar. All right, so liability going down, and liability is a credit item. So that going down means we debit liability. So that here is the answer. We debit Supercar. So the amount owed. So the amount owed is not mentioned here, so we need to trace back how much we owe, which is 6,980. So this is 6,980. Okay, and pay in cash, so less cash, so credit cash, also 6,980. Okay, so what is meaning of that? So that here Supercar, here we also have Supercar. If we debit Supercar means liability going down, right? So why we owe less money to Supercar? Because we pay cash. Pay cash, credit cash, which is assets, means we have less cash in the business. Here we have step number 2, which is posting journal entries into the ledger accounts or the T account. So you can see this is a cash account, and then this is a T. All right, so this is the credit side, the left-hand side of the equation, and then this is right-hand side, the debit side of the equation. However, what about cash? Which side is positive to cash? Which is debit side, which is positive. However, here is negative. All right, I'm going to do posting. All right, so here on 1st March we debit cash. So what is meaning of debit cash? That means we put this 10,000 on the debit side. So here is the debit side, so I have 10,000, right? And then 2013, and the date is 1st of March. So why we debit cash? It is because of capital. All right, so I put capital here. So this is the posting. Debit cash means put figure on debit side of the cash account. And what makes you debit cash? Because of capital. All right, so I have done posting for this. And then now credit capital. Here I have another ledger account or T account for capital. All right, so credit capital means I put 10,000 on the credit side, and this is 2013, and then 1st of March. Why we credit capital? It is because of cash, right? Okay, so this is capital. So this is credit side. However, credit side to capital is positive. Remember that. And this is debit side, which is negative to capital. So I have done the first posting on 1st of March. Okay, so next I have lorry here. So debit lorry means we put 6,980. So here the debit side, this is debit side, 6,980. This is debit side. The date is 3rd of March, and the reason is because of supercars. Okay, so this is the reason. What makes you debit lorry? Because of supercars. Okay, so after that, credit supercar, so 6,980. Therefore, I have my supercar here, 6,980. So 2013, and then 3rd of March because of lorry. So we always enter 2 times, once on the debit side and once on the credit side. Again, what is lorry? Lorry is positive on the debit side, so here is positive because it is assets of the business, and the supercar is positive on the credit side because this is liability, and supercar is also our creditor. Supplier, same as, right? Okay, I'll keep going. And then next, debit purchases and credit cash. So therefore, I need to draw up a T account for purchases. So here is my purchases account. My T account for purchases. All right, yes. Okay, so debit purchases means I put this on debit side, 6,000, and then 2013. All right, and then the date is 14th of March. Okay, the reason what makes us debit purchases is this because of cash. So I have done posting for this debit purchases, 6,000. So here on debit side, 6,000 because of cash. Okay, now I need to credit cash. However, do I need to draw up another T for cash? No need, because we already have cash before here. Remember that? We already have the cash account. So now what is it? Credit cash, 6,000. So I put 6,000 here. Okay, so 2013. The date is 14th of March. Reason, credit cash because of purchases. So here, purchases. Okay, so this is the posting on 14th of March. Okay, next we have 20th, debit cash. Okay, so I already have the cash account. I don't need to draw up another T for cash. So that here is my cash. Debit cash, 9,000. So I put 9,000 on debit side. And the reason is because of cash. So the date is 20th March. So the reason is this, sales. Okay, because of sales, so we debit cash. And the next, credit sales. So I need to have another T account for sales. So here is my sales account, and this is the credit side. And then I put 9,000 here. The reason 2013. Okay, the date's on 20th of March because of cash. So I have finished the posting about 20th. Okay, 31st. Debit supercars. So we already have supercar. So here is supercar. So debit means I put 6,980. So 6,980 on debit side. And the date is 2013, 30th March. And the reason, what makes us debit supercar? Because of cash. So that I credit cash here. Right. So after debiting supercar, I need to credit cash. So that where's my cash account? My cash account is here. So 6,000 980. Dates is 31st March because of supercars. Okay, so you can see we always enter 2 times, once on the debit side and once on the credit side with the equal amounts, right? Okay, so therefore we have finished step number 1, prepare journal entries in this format, and now we come to closing of step number 2, the T accounts here. So this is the cash account. Debit side means positive, means we have more cash. So you can look at the description here. Why we receive more cash in the business? Because the owner puts cash into the business. Why we receive cash? Because we make sales to the customer. And here on credit side means we pay cash. Why we pay cash? Because of purchases, and purchases means buying goods. And why we pay cash? Because we pay money to supercar, and which is the supplier, and which is the creditor. So this is the meaning of the T accounts. Now we come to closing the T account. So to close the T accounts, so here, all right, so we have this. Okay. All right, so this is the debit side. Let's check total. 10,000 plus 9,000. So I have here 19,000. Right, okay. And on the credit side, 6,000 plus 6,980. So I have here 12,980. Okay, so which side is bigger? So this side is bigger. So remember, we always put bigger side here at the bottom. So which is 9,000. And here is also 19,000, sorry. This is 19,000, 19,000. So 10,000 plus 9,000 is 19,000, no problem. But however, on credit side, 6,000 plus 6,980 is not the same as 19,000. So therefore, we must insert something here on the smaller side. The credit side is smaller in order to fix it. So 19,000 minus 6,000 minus 6,980. So therefore, I have to add or insert 6,020, and then to close it, the dates should be the last day of March. Okay, and here is my balance, BLANCE, carry down. Okay, so this is how we close the T accounts here. This figure is very important because after the owner has run the business for a month, now the business has 6,020, and this closing balance, okay, if you carry forward to next month, which is April, so 1st of April, so you will have this 6,020 to begin with. All right, so this is balance brought down. All right. Okay, let's look at the cash account again. So this 6,020 is very, very important because this is the closing balance. So closing balance. Okay, and this closing balance in March will be the opening balance in April. Okay, and how do we close the T? We always insert numbers or figures on the smaller side, and then this is the credit side. Credit side is smaller, so therefore, when we have debit side bigger than credit side, so we call that there is a debit balance in the cash account. So which side smaller? Debit side bigger, credit side smaller. So we always insert a figure on the smaller side, which is credit side, in the cash accounts. Okay? Okay, next we come to capital. So capital is positive on credit side. So why we have more capital here? Because the owner put cash into the business. And then we have nothing, zero here. So how do we close the T account? So we do that in this way. This is the bottom. We always put the larger figure at the bottom here. So 10,000 and 0, which one is bigger? So 10,000 is bigger, so I put 10,000. I put 10,000 here, right? So 10,000 is the same as 10,000, but 0 is not the same. So I must insert this 10,000. Okay, so the date is 2013, and to close the T account, so that will be 31st March. And now here I have balance carry down, and then this figure is very important. This one is the closing balance. So this is the closing balance in March. ARCH will be opening balance in April. All right, so if we continue our business in the next month, extend it, and this 10,000 will be started again here on the credit side, and the date is 1st of March, and this is balance. Okay, so let me write it nicely, which is balance brought down. So this is how we show that in this way. So again, what is meaning of that? So closing balance in March. So here in the capital account, which side is bigger? So we have credit side bigger than debit side, right? So in the capital account, so that we say that there is a credit balance in the capital accounts. All right, so therefore capital has a credit balance, right? Means credit side is bigger. However, for cash, in this situation, the debit side is bigger than the credit side. So we say that there is a debit balance in the cash account. Okay, so how do we close lorry account? We have this figure on debit side but nothing. So remember, we always put larger figure at the bottom here, so which is 6,980. So 6,980 is already same as 6,980, and then also put 6,980, the bigger figure at the bottom here. And we have nothing, so that we must insert something here, which is also 6,980, and closing the dates always at the end of the month. And then this is 2013. Okay, I have this balance carry down. So this is the closing balance, and then when we extend it again, so in April, so this closing balance 6,980 will be the opening balance in April. So that would be balance, what is it, brought down. So balance brought down is the opening balance, balance carry down is the closing balance. Okay, and what do you think about which side is bigger? So the debit side is bigger than credit side, so we can say that we have a debit balance in lorry's account, right? And debit balance is debit side bigger than the credit side. Okay, now supercars. So 6,080, 6,980, okay, which is exactly the same, so that we don't need to do anything. We can close in this way, we can close in this way, so that do we need to insert anything on debit side or credit side? No need. So that in this situation, when we have this, the debit side is same as credit side, then we say that we have zero balance in supercars accounts. So what is supercar? Is our creditor, which is liability. Since we owe supercar 6,980, and later on we pay the same amount to supercar, so that we don't owe anything to supercar anymore. So that we call that zero balance. Okay, so finally we have to close purchases. Okay, so how to close? We always do this. So 6,000 here and 0 here, always the larger figure at the bottom. So 6,000, and here is also 6,000, right? So 6,000 is already same as 6,000, but nothing here. Therefore, I need to insert 6,000. And this is $ here, the dates, 2013. To close it, always the end. And then here I have balance carried out for purchases. Okay, so let me close sales account as well. So this is how we close. Okay, so 9,000 on credit side, nothing here, so 9,000, and here is also 9,000. 9,000 same as 9,000, but I need to insert something here, which is 9,000 and the dollar sign, and 2013, and the last date of March. Okay, and here I have balance carry down. So this is how we close the T accounts. Okay, let's check what we have done so far for the accounting cycle for the owner, and the owner is K Chen. We have done journal entry, we have done posting into the T account. Now we come to trial balance. Okay, so here is the trial balance. All right, step number 3. So K Chen is the owner, and trial balance as at. Okay, we always use as at instead of on the date. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Okay, I will let you know later. You can think about that, why it is as at. Okay, anyway, this is the format. So we have debit column, credit column on the right hand side. So dollar sign, don't skip. Okay, so let's check trial balance, step number 3. Okay, we go back to step number 2. So what is the closing balance for cash? So here we have 6,020. So we insert on smaller side. This side is smaller, credit side, but actually it is a debit item. Is that right? Agree with me? All right, so I have this 6,020. 6,020. Okay, so therefore I have my cash here. And then after cash, next I have capital. So insert on smaller side 10,000, but actually this 10,000 is a credit item. So I have 10,000 for capital. Okay, so what else do we have? Next we come to Lorry. All right, the closing balance 6,980. Actually, this is it should be a debit item because this is debit balance. Debit balance means debit side bigger. We just insert on smaller side in order to close the T, but actually it is a debit item. 6,980. So 6,980 because of Lorry. Okay, and supercars. Okay, no closing balance because debit side same as credit side, 0 balance, so we don't bother supercar to put supercar in the trial balance. Next, purchases. Okay, so even though this is on the closing balance on smaller side, but actually it is a debit item, right? Purchases always on the debit side, so I have this 6,000, and this is my purchases. 6,000, right? Okay, and what about sales? Sales is a credit item, so I have this 9,000 on credit side because of sales. Okay, and that's all. Okay, now I'm going to close it and see whether I get the same total on debit side and credit side. 620 plus 6,980 plus 6,000. Okay, so I have 19,000 on debit side, and then this is 10 plus 9,000. Oh, this is so good because I can get the same amount. All right, on the total on debit side and also the same amount on credit side. That means so far I don't make any mistake. I don't have any careless mistake. So here I have the meaning and the definition of trial balance. So it is a list of all debit and credit balances of the ledger accounts, right? So I get cash, the balance from ledger account from the T account, and then capital. So these are all the lists. And finally, what is function of a trial balance? To test arithmetical accuracy. So I don't have any mistake for my calculation. All right, so that because I can get the same total on debit side, 19,000, or also on credit side, the same amount. So this is trial balance, and which is step 3 of the accounting cycle.